What's up, Nerfagensei here. Today I'm going to be talking about string of creation and whether or not it is worth it or not, alright? And it's probably going to be kind of a long video, 10-15 minutes of me just talking about worth and value and efficiency and stuff like that. And I know most people have the attention span of like 5 minutes max these days, right? So I'm going to start off with the simplest and like honestly the best answer that I can give you, and then I'm going to go into the long answer, which includes a lot of my opinion and what I think is best. All right. So the simple answer is look at the banner that you're thinking about pulling on and think to yourself, if I have to pull 30, 40, or 50 times, because it takes 50 times to get every single hero in a banner, if I have to pull that many times, would I regret pulling on this? Alright? If the answer is yes, don't pull on it. Right? If the answer is no, there you go. It's going to be worth it. Alright? But here's where people's like opinions come in, right? Which is why, if you're looking for my opinion, I'm about to get into that. But, it really is ultimately up to you. For example, I'm sure a lot of people have pulled on this Rochelle banner right here. And while I think FC Rochelle is a really strong character, right? You see him all the time in the top 16 for the daily tournament. For me, I don't think he's worth it. Like, if I could pull him within 10, 20 pulls, sure, I'd be happy, right? But, first of all, it's called Scam of Creation for a reason, right? And you can't just hope for the best and that's it, right? If you're just hoping for luck, bro, you should not be playing gacha games because you're going to be disappointed, all right? Right? For me, he's just not worth it. Whereas other people, they might, go 40 plus pulls on his banner, and although it hurts, they'll be okay with it in the end, right? So, if that's how you feel about the banner, whatever banner it is, then go for it. But if you think you'll regret it, then don't. All right. And another thing I would like to mention just right off the bat is because banners don't go anywhere, right? Or string of creation banners don't go anywhere. You shouldn't feel pressured to just go all in, right? Just use all the Ziz you have, and then even if you don't get it, just all the Ziz that you get, just keep pouring into it until you get that unit, right? You can just pull, once per week or twice per week for this banner while trying to at the same time save up for upcoming banners that you think you might want to pull on. All right. That's the advantage of stream of creation. Well, at least for free-to-play players, right? For whales, the benefit is you get to get whatever character you want in the game. All right. Anyway, that is it for the simple answer. That even took a few minutes to say. But next we're gonna get into what I think is worth it and what isn't. All right. So if the character that you are pulling for string of creation will take your account to the next level, right, then it's worth it. And what I mean by that is, for example, Bathory over here. I haven't pulled on string of creation yet. I've been doing my best to avoid it and put it off and pull on all of the first Guardian banners. But I'm very close to pulling on this Bathory string of creation. I'm gonna wait, confirm that Ramji isn't going to be a character that I'm pulling for, and then go string of creation for Bathory. But let's use Bathory as an example because she's the one that's worth it the most in my opinion, right? So you could have every other character in the game, every character, every Fate Core, but if you don't have Bathory, your count's not complete. You know what I mean? Like, your account is different with her than it is without her, even if you have every other character in the game, right? And even if you have every other character in the game, you could be in the top 16, you could be doing Dragon, you can do whatever you want, but as soon as you get her, someone in your main squad is being kicked out for Bathory, because that's just how good she is. She does something that no one else can do, and she's something that you will use. She's a character that we use everywhere. PvP, Dragon, special dungeons, Upir's Labyrinth. Like, you'll even use her on Upir's Labyrinth even if the boss is completely immune to her damage, right? Whereas, for example, I think I already opened it and closed it, but the the Shafrakan string of creation, right? It has the FC Shafrakan and the Baraka. And honestly, those are two of the coolest looking fake cores in my opinion. And FC Shafrakan's a beast in PvE. Baraka is a beast in PvP, and honestly, I like the black fake core more than the blue fake core for Baraka. However, it's not worth it, right? Baraka, I would be using for PvP possibly, but there's other really good options for PvP. Like I don't need him for PvP, right? Even if I pulled him, I might not use him. All right, and PvE wise, Shafrakan's really good, but again, there's other options. It doesn't do anything for my account that other characters can't do. Whereas Bathory, there is no replacement for Bathory. There is no other option for Bathory. If you pull Bathory, Bathory is in your team. Period. All right. So that's the best way that I can try and describe it. And then it's up to you to discern what characters are at that level and what aren't. All right. So now I'm just going to go over like each stream of creation and which ones are most worth down to the ones that are least worth, basically. All right. And again, I'm trying to do this from a free to play / low spending perspective, and you're trying to be as efficient as possible to make your account as strong as possible. All right. Because Zez is limited. We do get quite a bit of free Zez, but you know, it's been we're like a month in now, and achievements are starting to slow down. Right, like the weekly Zez is pretty good, but when it comes to the achievements, they're starting to slow down. Right, they're scaling up to, I think the next achievement for like all of my challenges is I have to do them 300 times. I've done them 100 times. All right, so that's going to be a couple months before I get that next challenge achievement. All right, so you have to be like, even in the beginning, they're pretty generous with Zez. You have to think long term. All right. All right. So, depending on when you're watching this video and what your account looks like, all right, the first string of creation that you're going to be pulling on is this one, which isn't out yet. 42 days from now, it's going to be out. But, you know, if you started in the beginning, like me, week 1, week 2, you have FC Xeon or FC Anastasia, FC Rara. Like you want, I think, in my opinion, 2 out of 3 of those, right? Like I don't have FC Xeon, and although he's a really strong character, I have FC Anastasia, I have FC Rara, so I'm fine. I don't need him. I like him, but I don't need him, right? I also have FC Baelish and Maggie, but they're just not as strong. So if you're just starting out the game, right, and all of the First Guardian banners are already done, 100% you have to pull on this string of creation. It's not even a matter of worth. It's a matter of you have to, okay? Like playing this game without First Guardian heroes is like playing this game on the hardest difficulty Iron Man run. If you die once, game over. Whereas everybody else who does have them on their team is playing it in easy mode. All right, they're just that strong. All right, PvP, they're insanely strong, but even PvE wise, there are literally, you know, bosses and levels in Upper Labyrinth, story mode, anywhere in PvE, there are levels where it's easier to clear them with a single Dragon Guardian than it is with a full team. All right, so you have to pull on this if you don't have First Guardians. All right. Next is Bathory, like I just talked about. Again, Bathory isn't as required as First Guardians. Like, I don't have Bathory yet, and I'm like Master 3 in Challenger. I mean, Master 3 in Arena. I do well almost everywhere. Honestly, my whole Dragon Grounds is a bit lacking. But everywhere else, I'm totally fine, in my opinion. I completely cleared Upir's Labyrinth without her. However, she's still so strong that it's a matter of when I'm going to pull for her, not if. Like, I'm going to have to pull for this, because even the regular Bathory, not the FC version of Bathory, is so rare that she's basically almost as rare as like FC Anastasia or the Black Fate Core Baraka, right? Extremely rare. So you can't even try bank on oh, eventually I'll get regular Bathory. Because you have no clue when you're going to get her. You could play this game for 6 months and not even get the normal Bathory, right? The first account that I made, I got Bathory from what am I saying? From Exodium, from Dwarf Creation. I got lucky. But I don't have her on this account, and I have no clue where I'm going to get her. So it's really a matter of when I'm going to pull, not if, right? So it's 100% worth it. It's just a matter of when you're going to do it and how you're going to go about it. Are you going to try and blow a whole bunch of Zeds at once, or are you going to do it little by little, etc.? All right. So that's Bathory. Next is this is where it gets kind of hard, right? We have Ridley, we have Garth, we have Illum. All right. Illum is really, really strong, especially if you already have Bathory, right? And FC Illum is the number one frontliner, the number one tank for PvP. All right. However, PvE wise, I don't feel like she's necessary anywhere. Right? She's still good, but she's not like game changing. Like she might be a game changer PvP wise once you get her with, especially if you pair her with FC Bathory. But other than that, not so much. All right. So this is one of those ones where it's like a judgment call. It's up to you whether or not you feel it's worth it or not. All right. Next, we've got Garth. Garth. I would say Garth is he's not as say necessary or not as strong as Bathory. However, extremely strong, will do wonders for you in PvP, PvE, basically everywhere. And on top of that, he's literally the only strong light character in the game, right? We have Garth, right? FC Garth. And then the next, like, strongest or most useful character is arguably, like, Sybil, right? Like, literally, there's no other faded light unit. This game is really lacking when it comes to light units. So Garth is just another one of those characters that's like you want him in your account, period. All right. But I wouldn't say, man, I don't know what to say about this. I would say he's one of those ones where eventually you're gonna pull for him. Honestly, also, his normal version is just as rare as Bathory's. So once again you can't count on, oh, eventually I'll pull him, because honestly, regular Garth is good enough. You don't need the FC version, in my opinion, although it's better, obviously. But even the regular version is so rare that you can't just be like, oh, I'll pull him eventually, right? All right, so that's it for Garth. Next, we got Ridley. All right, I'd say Ridley's probably the same as Garth, maybe a little bit higher in terms of whether or not you should pull for him. Dude is, not only is he extremely good, PvE wise, he'll do wonders for you. All right, but on top of that, he's the biggest like design change, or like the difference between normal Ridley and regular Ridley is huge. And I don't mean in terms of power, I just mean in terms of like kit and what they do. Right? Like regular Ridley is just a pure single target nuker. Like I love normal Ridley. He's what I chose for my selector ticket when I first started the game. However, FC Ridley is like a damage dealer, but he does decent single target damage, but also does good AoE, and he's like supporting, makes your entire team like tankier. He's just like an all around insane champion, I guess, or insane hero. So I would say he's right under Bathory. So I'd probably go with first Guardian's Banner, then Bathory, then Ridley, then Garth. All right. So that's it for Ridley. Next we have everything else, honestly. Like I said, Rochelle, I just don't think it's worth it. I will never pull on Rochelle's String of Creation, even though I think he's a really good character. I won't be pulling on his String of Creation ever. the Shifrakin, but I would say he's probably next down on the list after Bathory, Ridley, Garth, and then Illum. Although I would say Rochelle's probably more useful in PvE than Illum. I don't know, but I won't be pulling for either of them. All right. And then after that is the Shifrakin one, right? Like I said, Shifrakin one, in my opinion, not worth. Probably before the first Guardians came out, it was probably worth it. But now that the first Guardians are out, Shifrakin is a no-no for PvP. And PvE wise, I'd say he's still a monster, but you don't need him. Right? You don't need him anywhere. And the Baraka one, like I said, it's really cool. Probably one of my favorite fake cores, but not necessary anywhere. All right, the strongest area it is that the strongest area for that Baraka would be PvP, but even then, I could see me pulling him and eventually like not using him because I want to use other characters, right? Like Bathory, FC Rara, Anastasia, FC Xeon. There's just so many strong, extremely strong characters for PvP that you could easily just not use them. All right. And then it's Jin. Jin 100% not worth, in my opinion. If you find it's worth, that's up to you, right? And then next would be this one, this Tantalo and other hamster string that's coming out in 2 days now. Also not worth. So that's it. Right? Ultimately, it is up to you and your priorities. However, I would go with, if you don't have First Guardians, 100% you have to pull. That's a have to. All right. Next, Bathory is another have to. Not immediately, but eventually you're going to have to. First Guardians, you have to immediately. Honestly, I can't even imagine playing this game without them. After that, Ridley. After that, Garth. Then Illum. Then whatever you want, man. That's it. That's my thoughts on string creation. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Because, like I said, this is highly opinionated, right? It really depends on what you think is worth, what you think isn't. Really, honestly, aside from Bathory and First Guardians, I don't know. Like, eventually I want the Ridley, eventually I want the Garth, but I can't say when I would pull on them. It really depends on when we finally get a break from banners. Because literally since the launch, we've had a new one every single week. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, I got a break now. Now I can start pulling a string of creation. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. Peace. Please like, comment, subscribe.